This right here is Car Con Carne. Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Oslo. Car Con Carne is sponsored by Exploding House Printing. Fans, brands, listeners, if you need to get the word out about what you do, you need Exploding House Printing. They can help with your screen printing, embroidery, your merch needs. Exploding House delivers production efficiency and cost awareness to offer boutique print shop quality at much lower, large print shop prices. You should check them out online, explodinghouseprinting.com, see all their clients, the people they've worked with, people like the Music Box Theater and the Botanic Garden and the Broke Down. So many people at Exploding House on Instagram, or just email them for a quote at info@explodinghouseprinting.com.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
So a little bit about me, which probably surprises no one. I've been reading comic books since I was a small child. I'm pretty sure, without exaggeration, that I learned to read largely from comic books. I'd pull them off the rack, off newsstands, the spinner racks. First comic was Defenders #4, the first Valkyrie.
That's amazing.
I learned how to read from those books. Like anyone in the comic collecting, the comic reading hobby, I've fallen in and out of it through the years. These days, I'm totally back, although I'm not really concerned with the new titles. First of all, they're really expensive, but I'm more concerned with the back issues. I guess I'm reclaiming my childhood. I'm living through nostalgia, the formative years of my youth. What is called the Bronze Age of comics that's kind of my sweet spot, like that area between 1970 and 1985. I've been building up, augmenting my collection with reader copies, basically books that are good for the home library, but you can't exactly pay the rent or the mortgage with those books. As I've been jumping back in, it's clear that comics, since I started collecting many years ago, have changed. The art of collecting has changed. To no one's surprise, everything evolves, everything changes. Slab comics, or professionally graded and encased comics, are very much a factor in modern collecting, making even amateur collectors think of comics less as pieces of an overall narrative and more as numbers on a 10 scale. I used to, I still do, chase missing books. I chase key issues. I try to flesh out runs. The chase for books that are only graded above certain numbers is relatively new and kind of gross to me, though that may sound like me saying get off my lawn, because that's not the way I grew up reading comic books.
Darn kids.
Darn kids. It's a really interesting time for the aftermarket, and that's the focus of this episode. Please, if you think this doesn't interest you, don't be frightened. This may interest you. We're not going to have this super nerdy dissection, this deep dive into comic book lore. We're not going to talk about which characters could take each other in a fight. It's none of that. This is about the art and science of collecting, about speculation and the buying and selling of used comics. In a sense, it's an entrepreneurial episode. You don't need to read comics to listen to or read this episode. I hope that's enough of a disclaimer that you haven't turned off listening or you haven't stopped watching. I hope you feel comfortable proceeding. Two of my Facebook friends who are now friends IRL, that's in real life, John.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have joined me
in real life.
They figured out this puzzle, how to buy, speculate, resell back issues. And I wanted to pick their brains on this episode. I think this is a super interesting topic. I hope you do too. First to my right is John Belonio. He is C-Style Dog on Instagram, also C-Style Dog _comics on eBay. And I will say, finding sellers on eBay, I find incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah. Trusted ones, good ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just finding them by searching.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't make it easy.
You can't search by name.
No.
Correct. Yes.
They
right.
do not make it easy.
Yep.
So, that said, John is C-Style Dog _comics on eBay. Good luck finding them.
Google it. Just Google it. Don't do it through eBay.
There you go.
Do it that way.
Or contact me on Instagram, and then I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
In the backseat, that is Dave Zortea. It rhymes with tortilla. He's at zortea.us, zortea.us. Tiki Comics on Facebook Marketplace, and Tiki Comics and more on eBay. Are you a fan of the tropical drinks?
I am. I have a tiki bar in my basement. It was kind of...
Why aren't we recording there?
I know, right? We really should. Well,
our next podcast.
Come on over next time. We can talk about tiki drinks, because that's
We're
my other...
sitting in the parking lot of a strip mall, half-price books.
At the worst place to buy comic books.
Night.
Oh, geez.
We're off
No
Golf
sponsor
Road
for
in
them.
Schaumburg
Yeah.
on a Wednesday. We should be at the Tiki Bar.
We should be. Sorry about that.
You should be
My
making
bad.
zombies for us.
During COVID, that's when so one piece of the puzzle I had to figure out was making the drinks properly. My own syrups. All.
You had time.
Yeah.
Before my daughter went to her freshman year of college, we had a big family dinner at Tiki Terrace over.
Oh yeah.
just
Know it
once.
well. Yeah, sure. I've had my picture taken up there when I was making entrepreneurial Hawaiian shirts, which I may go back to someday too. So,
Oh,
yeah.
do love it. Do love a good Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
although
I got
not
closet full of them.
not popular with my family. I've come to learn.
Right.
Let's start talking about
Yeah.
this topic. Is selling used? It seems like a lot of people are doing it online, eBay, etc. Is selling used comics lucrative? Is there a business in it?
Neither one of us are going to retire off of it
No.
or get rich off of it.
We're,
Nope.
No, we're not making bank on doing this. We're doing this for our love of comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, it's a hobby first.
Yes.
Hey, were you guys? I mean, were you the same as me, like kids growing up with this, and you've
Yeah.
come back to it as adults?
Correct.
Yes, we're kind of like chasing our childhood.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is how we
Yep.
spend our time.
Is this a
after-
midlife crisis?
Well, it's nostalgia, and everybody
Maybe, but
nostalgia,
I don't
right?
care.
I mean,
I mean, it's fine.
there are.
We
there's-
could be into
yeah.
worse things.
Yeah. Well, that's what my wife always says too. I'm like, this
Exactly.
is a very, rather than tiki drinks or something, it's a little safer, right? But
Yes.
but yes, I grew up reading comic books. My first comic, going to flea markets, and for kids at home, flea markets are like garage sales, and for those kids who don't know that, it's like eBay Live. So but it's comic books were just a thing I grew up with and then grew out of. I started a family, had a job, got serious about it, and now I've come back to it in my, older years, and to make money just to buy more comics, actually, because you, I'm filling in runs and not to bore the audience, but it's stories, right? We just want to fill in our stories, or see. Some people buy it just for the art. Some people don't even open the comic book up. A lot of people just want to see the covers, and that's why they get them slabbed sometimes or graded, so they can hang them up on their wall.
Yeah, I get that.
But also to know what you're buying is worth what it is, what you say it is, so that you can be trusted. So when I go to sell to you, if I go to sell to you a raw comic, raw meaning it's not been graded or slabbed, I can sell it to you and I tell you it's a certain grade, and if you can't see it, you don't know. But a graded one, you can trust the grade, typically.
Right.
Yeah.
And in fact, right before this podcast, I sold you a graded comic.
You did. Am I allowed to
Yeah, you
bring
can
it
hold
out
it.
or show it? So this is a monster.
It's a monster.
I was saying I've had this comic a few times. So again, not to bore anyone, but Todd McFarlane is
gotta show that.
probably the most famous modern artist. He's signing stuff today, and it costs hundreds of dollars to get him to sign stuff. This is not signed, but it is graded.
That's Amazing Spider-Man 300, the first full appearance of Venom.
Yeah, correct. And again, not boring anybody with the characters or stories, but that's a big deal. So milestones or key issues is kind of where it's at. That's where us collectors or sellers make our money, is selling keys, right?
So with that specific book, I got my childhood copy graded and signed by Todd McFarlane.
Wow.
It's an 8.0, which I'm impressed that it's survived all these years.
8.0 on a 10 scale.
But I'm not.
And no one hits a 10. so you know.
I'm not going to sell it.
Yeah.
It's just to
Sure,
preserve
I've got something
it.
like that.
That's
I
my
do too.
childhood book. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, on that
Totally
same
get it.
front. So I had I grew up and I bought for 75 cents. I was telling you, James, the other day, I bought a Secret Wars number 8, and that's the first Spider-Man in the black costume. And I gave it to my friend and that's a whole other part of the thing we can get into, pressing and cleaning. He uses this hot press and a cold press. He makes it all flat and nice, looking like crisp and new. I got it graded and I got a 9.8, which is, for us, that's the top. No one gets a 10 or a 9.9. So it's hanging on my wall and I'm never selling it.
Well, and what you're talking about, the expense
It is expensive.
of essentially
take that into
flipping
account.
these comics.
Yeah.
For sure.
To press and clean a comic book, that could be $15 to $30.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
And then
Then
you
to
have,
ship it out.
depending on the era of a comic book you're submitting to be graded by, CGC is the big dog, but there's also PSA jumping in the ring.
The Coca-Cola, the Pepsi of grading.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, depending on the era, modern or older vintage or high value, I mean, you're paying anywhere between $40 to $100 to get something slabbed. So if you're getting it slabbed, like John said, if you're getting that book preserved for the wall. It's like money's no object. Like I just
Yeah.
But if you want to flip it and sell it, you have to factor that in. Like, are you going to make more money if it's slabbed than you would if you just sold it as a raw copy on eBay or whatever?
Or if you're like guaranteed, if you know for a fact that it's going to be the grade that you want at that value, I mean, go for it. But like if you're only going to profit like $50 to $100, I wouldn't even send it in.
Right.
See, and I work smaller. My margins, and that's where my eyes do roll to the back of my head, just like you, James, when you start talking about the business of comics. Like, where's the fun in that?
Right.
I do find it fun to take a comic and go, I think that's a gem, or I think that's going to hit big because of the movies, because it's popular
This
again.
the speculation.
The
part
speculation part of it is where that's my sweet spot. I still love the art, I still love the stories, but I also love to go, ooh, this one's going to go up.
It's
where
the
this
gambling
goes.
part.
Yes, we call it nerd stocks.
That's exactly what it
It's the
is.
stock market for nerds.
I get it. And I was talking with John before we recorded. Like, I just on auction on eBay got a copy of Plastic Man #1, first Silver Age.
that's
not
cool.
first Silver Age, his second Silver Age appearance. But I got it for like $25. Okay condition. But part of that was speculation, knowing that James Gunn's going to do something
Right.
with Plastic Man.
Plastic Man would be perfect.
And he could be essentially the DC version of Deadpool in the movies. Like,
yes.
Or who's really going to be the DC version of Deadpool is this guy right here. First appearance of Lobo.
Oh yeah.
Lobo's going to be played by Jason Momoa in the Supergirl movie coming up.
it's the
trailer
part he was born to play.
Yeah, it's he actually when James Gunn took over DC Studios, he texted him. He goes, "Bro, Lobo," and he wrote back. He goes, "Done."
Yeah.
So it's going to happen.
So
And in fact,
that's-
it's been filmed, and there's a brief scene of him in the trailer.
And you
so this
can
this
tell
explodes.
he's excited to play that
He is.
part.
It's going to be
So the book you just showed up,
Yeah.
the book you
Yeah.
just showed
This
is
is-
Omega Men 3, his first appearance. Valuable for a lot of reasons. This is part of the science of it all.
Correct.
Omega Men was never a big title.
No one collected it. No one
Relative to the big titles of the day,
Yeah.
in that day would have been Uncanny X-Men, New Teen Titans, Spider-Man. Like the available copies of that are much smaller than some of those big titles. So already it has more scarcity
Correct.
than the big ones. And
And that's everything. Scarcity and quality. So the scarcity of the book, how hard is it to find? Like this one's very hard to find right now. And I bought 3 copies and I've been chasing the gray. Yeah. So I bought 3 copies back in the day. One got a 9.4. Another one got a 9.6. So I'm getting closer. I haven't set this one and I'm still debating on whether
now, if
to
you're
send it
flipping
in.
these comics and selling these graded comics, if that's the path you go down, the difference of 0.2, 0.4, that could be hundreds of dollars depending on the
Depends on
book.
the
Yeah,
book,
could be
yes.
that much, yes. So a 9.8 of this, last I checked, over $200.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
What,
only, I
ask me
agree,
what I
that's only
bought
going
this
to go.
for. Hopefully my wife isn't watching the podcast. No, she is.
How much, Dave?
$80.
Okay.
$80.
Not a bad part.
How long ago did you buy that?
About a year ago.
Okay, that's
And when
Not so recent. That's
the
not a
Supergirl movie comes out, that'll.
Well, that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it on speculation for the Supergirl movie.
And you were talking about Plastic Man. Like, yeah, you got it for $29,
Yeah.
$30. Like, if he shows up in a DC movie,
people are going. And no one
they're
has
not going to make
Plastic Man
millions,
#1.
but it's kind of that rush of like, hey, look, I discovered not that you discovered Plastic Man, but I got this comic book at a time when no one was talking about it, and that's kind of like our bragging point. You know what I mean?
But it is it's that thrill
it's
of
about
gambling.
the story. And
a little bit of gambling, right? Yeah, it's a gamble.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been to the Bally Casino downtown, and I find that to be a pretty joyless experience. This is more fun.
Oh yeah.
for me.
So if it doesn't pay, let's say this doesn't pay off, right?
it's fine.
I know I can get what I bought for it. Some things do go down.
Yes.
There is a
But the
floor.
ones, yeah.
Yes.
There are some things I've bought that. Okay, so here's another good visual. So I bought this on speculation, and this is an action comic.
See, I had that one. I have my original copy that
You do?
I bought.
Okay.
So that's let
I
me.
didn't pay that much, but I barely paid anything for this. I think I bought this for like.
So these are the two villains who will be in the next Superman movie.
correct,
Brainiac
and they're saying that Luthor will probably
Will have
be in
that
this
suit.
this suit, And this is the first
I remember
appearance of that
toy.
suit. So it's
That
kind of
toy was
that-
awesome.
It was a toy.
The Superpowers toy.
It's cool because it's nostalgic.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, if this doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I'm okay with keeping it.
I think that'll spike if nothing else.
I think it should.
It's funny. I
make
do.
5 or 10.
I do enjoy. There's some people who think speculating on comics is
I
just.
know.
It's an awful thing to do, but it adds a little bit of adult fun to the proceedings. After Peacemaker wrapped up season 2, I remember messaging both you guys saying, "Oh my God, that Action Comics with the first Checkmate and Salvation Run #1, those are good spec issues."
Yes.
That was a funny day because
I don't think it'll ever peak. I have to be honest. The time to spec was during COVID.
Yeah.
Because we had nothing else to do.
That was
Right.
I missed out.
And I don't want to
didn't
even
miss
admit the prices I paid for certain books.
Oh, I look back historically on
Yeah.
sale prices between like 2020 and 2021.
Characters that were introduced in like MCU, like Marvel shows,
Oh yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
drastically.
Oh yeah. So
But
it
that's
is
okay.
would you say
It's
it's
all
a
about
buyer's
the hunt.
market right now? It's a buyer's market.
Yes.
It's comics are not selling the stuff. The super expensive stuff is actually other than Spider-Man. Spider-Man always stays steady or goes up pretty much.
There's a YouTube account I follow
Yeah.
pretty regularly called Mint Hunter. I love it. John and I were talking about it.
Yes.
He said if you want to make money selling comic books, just sell Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the original Batman
Yep.
Yeah.
title,
Correct.
and Uncanny X-Men.
Yep.
That's it. Just
Yeah.
sell those 3
Correct.
titles.
And I love
Yeah.
those 3 titles.
Yeah. Of
course.
That's what
We all do.
Yeah.
But like,
That's
stay the
why.
course. Like, don't get seduced by. Oh wait, it's a
this
Doom
guy's-
Patrol issue from 1969. You stay the course, and that's the only way to make money. Especially like you said in this buyer's market. Like,
And again, we're not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to retire off.
That's-
You're just trying to
I
feed-
have my
that's the
401k.
whole
I do
conundrum,
trust
though.
in that. But the
trying
nerd
to feed
stocks,
the beast.
Yeah, it might buy me more comics. And if once in a while something pays off big, maybe it'll buy a dinner out. Maybe
Even
it'll
though-
buy a vacation. I don't know. But
Even though as a seller, I'm like, oh, it's a total buyer's market. I'm not sad about it because I'm a buyer myself. So
Yeah.
there are certain books that I have bought.
I have a
recently.
bag of books I bought from John.
Yes,
yeah,
you have.
yeah,
I'm like your comic.
Yeah, you're my dealer.
yeah. So that's
And
that's
you know
another thing
what? I have other followers on
Yeah.
Instagram who like, John, you just put these cheap books, but I find them at, you know what I mean? Good prices. I'm not trying to.
You're making a
rob
profit, but
people.
you're not making yourself rich.
I won't call myself a seller. I call myself a comic book broker.
Oh,
A
Yeah,
broker.
that's a good way of.
I'm a broker. The way stocks
That's
are,
a good-
I see
yes.
it more like stocks than I do anything else.
Yeah.
And not in the slimy, negative way. In the nerdy, I love the art, I love the stories way, and the nostalgia. And yes, am I capitalizing a little bit on people's nostalgia? Yeah, I am. But it's so fun because
our nostalgia.
yeah, and we connect over it. That's the fun. You know, having like my little garage sales where everybody comes over, turns into a little convention where we're all like trading nerd stories and who's your favorite artist and I'm going to get this signature from this guy and hey, did you see that movie? Oh yeah, did you hear about that casting? It's a lot of fun.
so
It's Dave's garage sales. You know, like when we get together or we meet up. When I bumped into you at Half Price Books.
Yeah.
I was on my way to a
It's
podcast, and I saw
That is
John in the
fun.
comic book section. I'm buying,
Of course we-
Son of Satan comics, and he's like trying to find
I forgot what it
Gems.
was.
what-
I always love
whatever
those.
kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
claim sale.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
just
claims
the
sales, you
whole
can do that.
act, even if I didn't buy anything at Half Price, it's very therapeutic just flipping through.
It is.
Because I used to be my wife says I collect everything. So I focused, which is correct. So I focused on comics. I used to collect toys, comics, cards. I'm back in the cards because I do cards and comic shows, but records as well.
Oh, I got a lot of records.
I would go to record shops all the
Yeah.
time. I would go to comic shops all
Yep.
the time and just flip through it and look at the images and think about the music. It's something about it.
It's a gene. I got it from
Yeah,
my grandma.
I
She was a collector. She would take me to flea markets as a kid. She loved going to antique stores.
So you were born to be a
I was born to be a collector.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's interesting you
Synergy.
mentioned records. Obviously, I have a lot of records. I enjoy music.
This is shocking to me.
shock.
My pivot to throwing myself more into comics, not exclusively because of, but in part is because of the fact that records are now priced out of what is reasonable
agreed.
on both the new level and the used market is pricing
feel
itself
like
out of what
I'm
is comfortable.
indirectly not collecting records.
I used to buy a
because
couple records a month, used, new.
That was my gateway drug to getting back into comics. Was my son started getting into records. My of my two sons, the one started buying. He was listening to my records. Got him a record player. We started going to record sales together, and then that kind of led to this is getting too pricey. This is getting insane.
When new records for a single record, when they're pushing $30, like
$40,
get the fuck out of here. I can't. Like,
I'm sure the fidelity is fantastic, but
I'm not sure of that either. I'm not an audiophile, but it seems so excessive, and I keep waiting for that whole thing to crash. It has to. It seems unsustainable, and
he's
used
already
market
getting less interested
from antique malls on. Like people are jacking up. Like really, the Survivor album with "Eye of a Tiger," you don't need to charge $9 for that. That should be $1 at the half price books. Yeah. But like everything's too expensive.
Another sad thing about that, again, being an artist, I'm like that's the whole package of the record, not just the music.
I love that. Yeah,
but the sleeve, the inner,
of course,
the lyrics, the artwork they chose for that.
That was the best. Those double albums that you'd open up. And
the
gatefold.
Stare
at the back.
100%.
Now back to comic books, though. It's fantastic to like see it's not just the cover, it's the splash page, it's even the ads.
Yep.
It's cool because they're putting out
I love
facsimiles.
I love all the old
and they're
ads.
putting so they're calling them facsimiles instead of reprints now.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a nerd term, but they're calling them facsimiles because they are exact copies. Other than the price on them, which is $4.99 instead of 75 cents or 12 cents. But you open it up and it's the original ads. It's the original everything. And you've got this pristine, perfect copy of Action Comics that none of us could ever afford, because those are literally millions of dollars.
So one of the reasons I have both of you here, and I'm so glad, like we're all friends now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all friends.
This is our first time. John, I've met before, but we've never hung out before.
But now you're coming to my tiki bar and comic sales. John's coming to mine.
I'm totally coming to that tiki bar.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how to get home.
Yeah, that's well, ride shares are great.
Yeah, you live like,
Yeah.
You can crawl.
We're closer to Wisconsin than we are Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a plan for that. But one of the main reasons I have you here, you both have different approaches. I mean, some of the same approaches, but different approaches to how we sell, how you do resale.
Very much.
Dave, you talked about your garage. You do garage sales. You're also
not garage sales, but yes, it's essentially
there's sales
in my
at your
garage.
Correct. They're like mini malls because you have other vendors.
I do. I started doing that, and we turned it into a little convention. So everybody gets like a table, and we put out toys and collectibles. We put out stuff where we just share signatures or things that we aren't selling, but just to share with other nerds,
I love it.
Yeah. Cool.
So you do stuff like you're both on eBay. I'm on eBay now too. Actually, I've always been on eBay, but now I'm on eBay.
I learned that's the safest way to sell too.
I am in eBay. By the way,
dabbling in eBay.
Love those seller fees. Those are great.
Oh, jeez. I would love to avoid it, but there's some protections built in.
Yeah.
There's protections and the exposure on your list.
Correct. You can't get eyeballs like that anywhere else.
For sure.
Right. So
everybody goes to eBay for comics when you're looking for comics. So
one of the avenues you use, John, is the claim sale. Now, I'd never heard of a claim sale.
Never done one.
I'd been
bought
detached.
from them.
And you do these claim sales where you'll post like 3 images of like 15 comics per image.
Yeah.
And the idea is basically people claim the comics. Like first one to claim it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They say the number of the book, or they say the Spider-Man book for $3.
Claim.
Yep. So yes.
Buy now.
And so
then I have like stacks for people.
So, and how does that work? So someone claims it and then you invoice them with like PayPal?
Yes, I invoice them. They can use...
Or you have to get their email address.
Of course. I message them on Instagram.
Right?
Okay.
Do you do
and
PayPal?
then you PayPal, Cash App, Zelle.
Mm-hmm.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have claim sales. So like you said, they're pictures of the books I have for sale.
I got this one. Micronauts and Braid from your claim sale.
Mondays are my $3 book, 5 for $10 sale day. And then Wednesdays are my $5 books, 5 for $20.
Look at these. I got these from a John Belonio claim sale. Look at
And then Friday.
Back here real quick, just so I can see.
Oh, yeah. Friday, I do my value keys sale. So obviously I could post books that are like, oh, you can get this book for $100, but I try to keep the value keys under $25.
So fun.
So it's approachable to everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
So
like Dave was saying,
I'm
not trying to make, be rich off people. like if people are like, oh, I need that book for my run, and John has it at a good price, I am all for selling it.
Thor. Boy, do I have a lot of Thor now.
I got so excited. This was another claim sale thing. First appearance of the Huntress.
Yeah.
And
that's
going back
fun.
to what I was talking about with
Yeah. Okay.
condition versus filling it.
I didn't know.
Like this looks like it's in not great condition. Staples
It's
are
attached.
hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
the reader copies.
But yeah, I just like having it.
Yeah.
For me, that's the collector part of it.
that's
Like,
when you're not going to be afraid to touch. Like the one. The
Don't
Omega
buy
that I
my
showed
books
you.
and get
Yeah.
them graded. You
Yeah.
will lose money.
Yeah.
right.
But, if you get my reader copies at $2 a book,
Sure.
and you won't regret it.
Thought you were going to get away with those, James.
Like,
I'll see John post stuff for his claim sales. I'm like, God damn it. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. And
Yeah.
because
there are worse things.
because the
to
barrier
to
for
say.
entry is so low with the
Right.
pricing, like, okay, I know I'm in for at least $10 on this one.
Right.
You had one tonight. Respectfully, I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't love all these. I'm gonna close Instagram. I'm good tonight. I
You
don't.
had to turn me on so you didn't see.
So we're going to have to talk, John. You're going to have to teach me how to do that because
Oh, for sure.
the only
Okay.
claim sales I've been a part of, I've purchased on Facebook claim sales.
See, here's the
That's
thing.
a whole other.
Oh,
That's
okay.
similar but different.
I like the idea of doing this. We should talk about pooling our resources and
Yes.
do a video claim sale
Oh yeah.
where we pool comics between the three of us and we
That-
profit from.
Would be fantastic
Yeah.
because I hate to admit this. Every night before I go to bed, I check the Instagram live claim sales where there's people, they have a whole wall of books.
Yeah.
And then there's a live feed, and they're doing what I'm doing, just not with pictures, but with video. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I have
Well,
Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Have you been on
know?
or done Whatnot at all?
I-
Familiar with that?
I'm almost, yes.
Okay.
I'm on Whatnot.
Okay.
Now, Whatnot
I'm almost
is
intimidated by that because that's
So I buy
it's
from
an-
there.
for fast.
auction
Yes.
app.
Correct. Online live auction streaming.
with a timer.
Yes, with a timer, and
Which
you'll put up
really
this book. You'll say,
you know.
"All right, this book, we're starting this at $2 for this comic," and you slide a little slider on the app, and it, $4, $5, whatever. We keep outbidding
feel
each
it.
other, whatever. Okay, the time's running out. And somebody gets in with that last swipe, and you get it for $50.
See,
we tend
that's
to
dangerous to
overpay
me.
on the other line.
That is
So
dangerous to
great
me,
as a
too.
seller.
That's
terrible
like
as a buyer.
eBay on speed.
Yeah, I've had to stay
I
away
need
from
time to process
It's like
and
the
think
difference
about.
between Instagram and TikTok. It's like it's too much
Exactly.
too quick.
Yeah, it is. Really
It's
cool.
like you're pressing buy it now, and
Yeah.
you don't really know if you really, you know what I
and then,
mean.
and then you add
don't
up
have
the
time to
shipping
think.
fees and everything. You're like, oh
The
my god, what
FOMO
did I
is
just
real
buy?
and whatnot.
What
That's
did
why I try to avoid it. I have friends who do it, and they do very well. I'm sure they do very well.
It seems
But
like a
I
bridge too
just
far for me. I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm going to be selling on it, I think, soon.
Okay.
That's why I like Instagram. It's like, okay, if you
A little more
avoid-
passive.
Sure.
right?
Join or
if
don't.
you like what I have,
Oh, yeah.
great, claim. If you don't, I'm not offended.
Yeah.
Just check me out next week.
I'm
You know
very,
what I
I'm
mean?
very interested in doing the claim sale thing, and you
I
inspired
am
John.
all-
You can do that similar thing on Whatnot, though. You can do claim sales on Whatnot. So anyway, yeah, that's all. Just another venue, another.
I don't want to build an audience from scratch. Like
Right.
I have people I'm connected to already on.
That's
I
true.
bet
You
your
could.
following
Yeah, see,
will be
you.
like,
That's great for you.
Car con-
See, I've had to market myself,
comic claim sale.
and that's where
is
my
bored.
yeah. See,
I
that's
was all for
claim
it.
sale.
Yes.
and I'm in. I went in on that
I'm in.
because I don't have an audience.
Because
We just-
if we just went in every week with like 15 books a piece,
yeah.
and then we just keep the proceeds from whichever books of ours sold.
We'll figure it out.
Let's do it.
Okay,
I mean, we're not like whatever.
I said this was going to be an entrepreneurial episode, right?
Yeah.
So on that note, that's where that's where my attention's so divided because I have to have a life too. I've got family. I've got my family life. I've got my regular job. And then I'm trying to find times where I can do a live sale
Yeah.
or something online. Oh, my eBay store. Oh, gosh, darn it. Somebody bought something on my eBay store. I got to ship it out. Shipping takes time. There's so much involved.
Although
Don't
eBay made it
think
much easier now.
Yeah.
Like literally the print
It
the
is
labels
easier.
at home,
But
just drop
still-
it off at the post office. They've made it. eBay's basically gamified their entire app since the last time I actually used it. Like the notifications about being, outbid on something, or they give you timers on the stuff that you looked at.
The
Like,
labels and the tracking, the shipping is all done for you, and they let the buyer know it's on its way without you doing anything.
they've made it a lot.
But that said, us comic book buyers, collectors, whatever, when you get into the comics where it is over the reader copies and it isn't a $3 copy and it is something $20, $30 more, we get picky about how they're shipped.
Totally get,
and you have to be super careful. You do not want to ship somebody's comic and have it get damaged when you're selling a $100, $200
For
comic.
I admit, like,
It's intimidating.
I'm like a tag team. My wife is the shipper and of,
I do it all.
and I am the more. Does that surprise you, James? Not at all.
Not at all.
And you should see our feed. We have 100% positive feed, but I always show her just to keep her motivated. And she is a doll. It's like the packaging was great. It was shipped like super fast. And I'm thinking, okay,
Pride myself
I'll
on that.
admit,
Yeah.
that's all my wife, Amy. On that, but
that's a big deal to us.
That's a big, and you
collectors.
know what? Also, she sees the money coming in, and so she's not. When we first dated and we were first married, she was like, "What the hell are you doing, buying a $300 comic book?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And now that I'm
the first Blade. I mean,
exactly.
My accountant wife
now
is now
when I
getting behind
show,
it. She's seeing the money coming
I
in.
tell her the real price of books now. You know how you kind of before, back in the day, like, oh, it wasn't.
Boy, this story sounds
it was
familiar.
Like 100.
Yeah.
But I legitimately tell her the right prices now. She doesn't even flinch because she knows what's coming in. She's working her butt off, like I'm sending it to the post office. I'm like, you don't have to.
Well, you know how we were talking about that Todd McFarlane signing at CGC?
Mm-hmm.
My wife asked me last night, we were having dinner, and she goes, so how much did you pay for that? I go, well, that was my comic I bought. She goes, oh, as a kid. Okay. So you paid like 75 cents. I'm like, yes. She goes, how much did it take to send it in? I'm like, well, there's shipping costs. She goes, and how much did you pay for the signature? I'm like, pass the rolls. You know, it's like, I just tried to change
how
something.
much was this?
She's like, no, it's
How much
okay.
was
How much did you pay for that? And I'm like, he's the most expensive, but he's also the most popular artist. So it's $160. She goes, does that include the grading? She knows that now. And I'm like, yes, it does. She goes, all right.
I did send one book. I sent one book to the McFarlane
You
thing,
did.
and I don't do this stuff like ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have this Batman and Spawn team up from a million years ago.
Yeah.
It was Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane.
Oh, that was a big deal. I love both.
I already had it signed by Frank Miller.
Wow.
So
fantastic.
I signed it.
He's one of my favorites.
I sent it through to have McFarlane sign it as well.
Well, that's well worth it. Just to add the other signature.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
both of
And
them.
it gets graded,
Book.
right?
Yeah.
Signed and graded.
And certified.
You
had
sent it in, you haven't gotten it back.
No, I think
He's signing
doing,
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
he's
his
signing
day.
right
This
now.
is day 3.
So
He's the celebrity. So he is the Brad Pitt or George Clooney of the comic book world right now. Am I wrong?
I think Alex Ross would give him a run for his money as far
I
as.
love Alex Ross. I mean, he's just the best.
So
much
Alex Ross, former Carcon Carney guest and former sponsor of Carcon Carney.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So the big question is, we're talking about monetizing these back issues.
Yeah.
How do you find inventory? Because I feel like you can't get inventory at comic shops because that stuff's already 20% over what it should be.
Correct.
eBay could be hit or miss. Like I said, I found a couple gems, but that's an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
I found I love going to antique stores and antique malls, and what I found there, and you can tell me if you disagree, when you go to an antique store, comic books are either outrageously expensive because the sellers think
Spider-Man's on the cover.
well they see 12
50 years old. Yeah, that doesn't.
they
make
see
it
12
worth
cents on the
anything.
cover, but
50 years old
that's
doesn't make it worth
so
anything.
comics are either hilariously overpriced
Yeah.
or shockingly undervalued. Like you'll find something that they don't realize what they have. They don't realize this is a key that introduced character XYZ.
Best when you
And that's why we do it. That's why we hunt. I go to like half-price books, not exactly half-price books here in Schaumburg, but there's some good ones. The Orland Park one, the Wally, he knows what he's doing. He prices them right.
I got to go to that one.
Yeah.
When it's, definitely, I highly recommend. I'm giving away my secrets, but he has some good books.
More.
Grove one is good. Naperville half price is hit or miss. So my point is, I go to after work. Before going home, I'll hit a half price books. Maybe find a good key here or there. When it's warmer, I always hit the flea market.
Oh yeah, flea markets, garage sales.
Flea markets are huge.
Yep.
Garage sales, I feel like,
But living in Illinois,
you
you know what
check
I
out the
mean?
garage sales
This is our hibernation time.
I
You
find
know what
myself
I mean?
zooming in on the pictures and like, oh, I see something. I think I see a comic book. And as long as it's not a long drive or I've got the free time to do it, I'll go check it out because sometimes you get somebody, oh, you like comics? I got a box. You want to look through these? And you go, oh my, look
And
what
you
I'm.
try to hide your enthusiasm. Like,
Yes,
oh,
you do. Oh,
these are
this
okay.
is okay. Yeah. Yes,
And
sure.
another
Good luck,
place,
Kyle.
the local comic shows.
Sure.
Because it's
Yeah.
run by people like us.
Yeah.
Who have a crazy amount of books that
Too many.
they just want to share their,
See, I was
with
wondering
other
if-
comic collectors.
I was wondering if that was similar to comic shops where you're going to find stuff that's already marked up and you can't actually find flippable books in that.
It's hard to find. In my opinion, it's hard to find flippable books.
So
So
flippable books
unless-
at a comic shop, you mean?
Or
It can be
show.
done.
It
when they
can
have
be done.
sales.
No, yes,
When they
there's-
have
They're half off.
when you know something that they don't. Remember, they're not pricing their stuff every day. They've got this massive inventory,
Right,
yes.
and they can't go back and check, oh, somebody Lobo is coming up. Well, I mean, they know about that one, but there's some movie that James Gunn, some obscure character.
Let's say Paladin,
Yes,
the first
Paladin.
appearance in Daredevil.
Hey,
You got that.
Yes.
Got it right here. So
Nice.
I have. So here's stupid speculation. I bought 3 copies. Well, they were cheap. These weren't pricey copies. And then only to find out the quality is varying on all 3 of them. Now I
That's
bought
Carmine Infantino, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yep. And it's one of those that nobody knew at the comic shop that was cast and that was coming because it's coming up in
Vision
the
Quest.
Marvel Universe and Vision Quest, the next Marvel Universe TV series. So
After Wonder Man.
yeah,
I
correct.
didn't even know that character was going to be in it.
So I bought
That's
this,
cool.
and it was cast with a local guy.
Yeah, right.
I think he's from around here, and people love him. He's been in little things, like he's one of those C TV stars, but I think he's going to hit it big. So I bought this with speculation to hopefully I mark him up and
Yeah.
sell them. I can go back and change my things. I don't have that big of an inventory that I can't go, ooh, I got to go find that one and price that up.
Right.
That's, and that's where we seem a little bit vulturish to the collectors and purists, right? The pure hobbyists. Because
Well, you got to keep in order to feed the beast. You
it's
need
gotta
to
move.
feed.
That's it.
You need to feed your inventory, and
I got to make money so that I can buy more comics.
right. So
You gotta
not
know
gonna throw it out of
the
the
books that are also liquid. When I say liquid, like you're gonna
yeah.
buy it and it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Case in point, X-Men #1. Any of those covers by Jim Lee.
which is
There's
shocking. 'cause
millions of copies.
There are millions
of
of
them.
copies.
It's like an X-Men.
And I'm not selling them
the
for,
90s
you know what I
X-Men
mean?
one,
But
right? Yeah.
I've noticed selling, you probably saw on my sales, like I'll find all 5 of the covers and sell it as a set. People
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
oh, this person did the work and hunted down all 5 of these
Yeah.
very common
I do sell
comics
runs and
then
collections.
sell it at a decent price. They don't want to worry about hunting.
I get that.
You tipped me off.
you know-
You tipped me off to Salvation Run
Right.
after the final Peacemaker season finale. It all tied into that, and James Gunn has already said that's going to be a piece of his future, like it's going to be a part of the Superman movie. So I literally, you messaged me, and I went to eBay and go, watch it go up. I'm going to grab it now.
In the same breath, I also talked about that Action Comics, which
Yes, you
was
did.
the
And I
first
bought 2 of
appearance.
those.
First appearance of Checkmate.
Correct.
In my head, they talked about how there will be an Amanda Waller show at some point on Max. I could see that very easily becoming a Checkmate show.
Sure. Yep. That's what.
In
it's
which
gonna be.
case, that speculation.
It's evolving and changing.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 copies of that because again, cheap. Those were like.
Oh yeah.
I've $6 maybe.
These books will never skyrocket in
No.
price, but it's
You'll make your money
fun-
back and then some.
But it's just fun to hunt these down and, find these.
Again, my margins are so small. I buy a $6 comic, and right now I think I maybe have it priced at 8 or 10.
Right.
And maybe it'll go up, and I'll be able to charge 20 or 25. That would be a huge win for me. I'm not looking at giant wins. There are on some things, where it's like making the graded stuff. And all
So this is just another, talking to you guys. This is another dimension to the hobby. This is just a fun way to sustain the hobby.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
No one's getting rich. It's just you found a way to
nice.
gamble a little bit. You found
Somebody might be, but like that guy that bought the action.
Be nice.
So that made the news, and
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Even people who don't follow comic books read
What
about
was
that
it,
a few
9
weeks
million?
ago. Yeah, $9 million because some guy found a comic. This is the story. He found the comic in his attic. And back then, they didn't have boards and bags like we have these in.
Right,
all
right.
Preserved. It was found in an attic, but it was pressed between some like newspapers and magazines.
is
So
perfect.
it was all pressed and kept pristine. And it sold at auction for $9 million. Wasn't that it?
I think it was more than that.
More than that? I don't know.
Around
But it was millions.
Yeah.
That is every comic collector's dream.
That'll never happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
But
come on, where's the attic with
Yeah.
Amazing Fantasy 15 for me?
yeah. So
Yeah, where is
Yeah.
it?
Instead, I'm chasing the little
You know,
things.
like-
Robert Downey Jr.
Lead me to
famous-
that attic.
Robert Downey Jr. popped up on socials last year where they were filming the Doomsday movie that's coming out end of this year, and he had a comic in the background, and it was this comic. And I jumped
That
on eBay. I'm like, oh, shoot,
yeah.
I better get that. It was literally going up throughout the day. I bought 2 copies and then I stopped because I'm like, the nerd stocks are going up too high for me now.
And you know what's fun about this spec too? I've been buying comic books for like 40 years. And so when that book was shown, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I think I have it.
Yeah.
And I have it.
That's
and I'm
more
like, yeah, you know
more
what I mean?
known-
That
yeah,
more like,
yeah.
I got it back
That's
when
way
it
more
came
fun.
out. You know?
I've had that happen a couple
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Batman Adventures number 12 is the
There
best
you go.
example of
That you
that.
just sold today.
It just sold today. That's a liquid book.
Really good money for us, comic book.
For really good, I sold that one on Facebook Marketplace to someone Dave knows.
Yeah, friend of mine.
God,
Shout out to Mike.
I wish Facebook Marketplace weren't as shady as it is, because not having to pay the fees and not having to worry about shipping, like,
But you don't know who you're dealing with on the other end.
Yeah.
And it's. I do try to scope them out. I do my due diligence. Are they a neighbor? Do they have a profile that looks like people? So I've learned this. I'm part of a Facebook comic collectors group where it's
you're part of all the Facebook.
yeah. Well, I'm adminning one.
Okay.
Moderating on one.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Comic Book Collectors, real generic name, but there's a lot of them called that. So I'll send you the direct link. But we have very strict guidelines and rules. We approve every single post that goes up there. Selling is, we allow selling, but it's really restrictive. It's not we're like, go to the selling groups.
Yeah.
This is for discussion about the hobby. We're not even talking about like how much I made on something. We're talking about the artists, the storylines, what are the hot books, what are the fun books. We talk about new books, old books. But my point is, that's the fun, is like, being part of that group and everything. And yeah, it's awesome.
So the question, like, I don't even want to know the answer because it doesn't interest me, but I know it'll interest people who are following this conversation. How deeply involved are you in speculating with new comics? I mean, how much are you chasing the absolute books?
I'm doing
I first of all, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I love that book is doing well
Absolute
because
Batman.
people are into
Yes.
the story.
Yes.
It's a good spin on Batman, and the art's fantastic. So when if people are just speculating on it because it might be the next movie, that's not good. For story and art, that's going to bring comic books back, I think. Stories like that, artwork like that, the whole thing.
So for people listening, Absolute Batman is this new. They're always rebooting titles. They're always starting over. There's always new number ones of this. People get very tired of it. But Absolute Batman is a new take on Batman. It's Batman like in a Batman meets horror, and horror is very popular right now.
It's like working
movies are
class
getting big.
Batman.
It's very, and it's a little bit of anime mixed in there, which is very popular, like with my son and his generation. So it's all that kind of put in a blender. And like you said, the stories, kids are gravitating, and I mean, kids are finally buying comic books again. We need that in our hobby. We need new readers, or this is going to die out. Right. Our hobby is
going to die out with us.
It's we don't want it to end with us. No. So this is a great title to get people excited again. And so yes, I'm buying to make some money on it because I also think, like you said, it's a great book. I really like it. Even if it wasn't for me, I would probably buy it because other people really do love it and they're buying it. I bought one not as part of speculation. It was free comic book day at my local comic book shop, and I wanted to buy something that day. It was $30 on the rack, which was pricey for a newish comic.
But that's a good investment.
But he goes, keep this one. I go, okay. So I went and got it graded. Got a 9.8. I sold it to Charlie Lost Boy of Lost Boy Comics for $350.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I have mine.
I
have one at the 9.8. I want to keep that one, and I'm sending another one in that I bought for $40 because the book is selling raw, meaning not slabbed, for $200 now. Yeah, and this book came out last year.
It's crazy.
That is like
only
crazy
a year old.
in the comic. Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
That does not happen,
especially for something that is mass produced.
Yes.
Correct.
I mean.
And remember, I sold it to him for $350.
A main character.
Yeah, and now it's selling for $400.
You know what I mean? Which is even
so he made $100 off me right there.
and with again, we're not going to go too far down these rabbit holes.
Yeah.
All I'll say in addition to that, the actual new relaunched Batman title
Yeah.
is great.
That is cool too. Yeah.
Like if
That's
you're
fun
a fan
again.
of Batman, like that's more conventional,
It's
old
so
school
fun.
Batman. It's
Yep.
pretty great.
It is.
Like cool new characters. Like that's worth diving into for sure.
Marvel owned the comic book world for a long time, and it is DC's now. They've got it. They're just knocking it out of the park over and over again.
So as you're acquiring comics, as you're sourcing things, how do you detach yourself from the thing? I've done this. I thought, I want to get some comics to sell. Then I'm like, no, shit, I want to keep this.
Yeah.
How do you become dispassionate as you do this?
I'm a comic hoarder. So I have I posted on Instagram, look, I have 4 copies of
yeah, so that was-
Secret Wars 8.
That was weird.
I don't know. Sorry if it's weird, but I might sell 1 or 2. One of them is my childhood copy,
Yeah,
and it's
mine's
signed
hanging
by
out.
Beatty
Yeah.
and Shooter. And of course, it's the lowest graded one, but I'm not going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get rid of that because it's signed by Beatty and Shooter. Then I have, that's my dilemma. Like, I'll find a key book, and I try to get every version of the book.
Yeah.
So the direct newsstand.
Direct
The
to comic book shops.
Yeah.
And the newsstand has the UPC code. And then there's what are called Mark Jeweler inserts,
Oh, yeah.
where they have the jewelry ad inside.
So
It's a
that
low print run that we're
this is
only
something
on
I
army
wasn't-
basis.
Super nerdy, but yeah.
Very
collectors-
nerdy, sorry.
Collectors want one of everything. They want
has to
all
come
the
out.
versions. That's all it is. It's the versioning. It's
I wasn't even aware of Mark Jewelers until
same.
a year ago.
Really?
I found out just a year or so ago when I got
You
back
might
into
have
it.
Mark Jewelers in your...
I do. I found one in
your
Daredevil, like Daredevil.
So I was in the Army, and we used to buy comic books on base at the PX, and that's what they did. They had the local. It wasn't local. It was I think it's a nationwide jeweler, but they put these inserts into comic books only on the military bases for whatever reason. So those they are a little flatter because the insert is thick and keeps the
Right.
comic book nice. So comic collectors seek Mark Jeweler. That's super nerdy, but
Yes,
you
it
can
is
feel
very
it.
nerdy.
Like the comic
You can
feels.
feel the weight.
Yep.
Although, from what I understand, these are harder to find in good condition
Super
because
thick.
Oh, yeah.
it's not like they're getting bagged and boarded on Army.
Well, you know why?
bases.
Because on the Army base, we would read them and we'd throw them away.
Yeah.
Or we'd hand them to
You
each other.
roll them up,
You roll
put
them
them
up,
in your
stick in your
back
pocket.
pocket
Correct,
or in your...
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, that's a whole subset.
Yes. There are so yeah, we won't
Dave,
get
do you
that.
know anyone who bought the jewelry?
No.
That's the
not
question.
no,
That
no
is
one.
the hunt.
Not one. That's
Right.
hilarious.
I would
That's a great
love
question.
to
You can find people who bought
see
sea
someone with
monkeys.
a ring. I would love to have a ring from Mark Jewelers.
Yeah, just to say.
So, all right, in summary, your claim sales are Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Correct.
and that is C-Style Dog.
Yes, on Instagram.
And then your C-Style Dog _
Comics
on eBay. Dave Zortea rhymes with tortilla. You are on eBay at...
Yeah, it's Tiki Comics. I would say just Google Tiki Comics eBay or something. I got to get a better website presence. That kind of like what you do for the show is one where you can go and it's a jumping off point, to all the places I'm at because I'm on Marketplace But I love doing it's my live sales. That is my first love. I'm going to do some shows soon too. So yeah,
Live in person.
yeah,
So we can
I'd
come
rather
hang
do
out.
that. I think it's more fun.
This is your side hustle.
It is.
Let's not worry about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to meet the people and talk about comics, and that way they know what they're buying too.
Yes.
And I love that. That way, I'm not trying to swindle them. They can see what the goods are that they're getting.
That's important too. Selling locally, like there is a whole comic community here. It's funny. I'll go to like a half price books and I'll see a friend.
Yeah,
And then we joke. I will go up to him and say, do I even bother looking at these stacks now that I see that you're here? And we joke, but we have different tastes, but we do that.
Yeah.
And like even at local shows, I'll be with a friend and he'll be the first one at the 50-cent books and he finds this book. And this is a true story. And then I think a month later, I bought it from him for like 40 bucks.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, is this a book that you found for 50 cents that I witnessed and I'm buying it? Like 400. He's like, yes. And I'm like, I'm fine with that because I know the value of it.
Yeah. The old joke that Johnny Carson used to make about the fruitcake. It's one fruitcake and we're all just passing it along to each other.
Oh, it totally.
Right? He used to say that. We're doing it with the comics, right?
We are.
You probably have comics I had. I have comics you had. Yeah.
Probably.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, guys, thank you for doing this. This is my first podcast back in the car since all the medical things that I dealt with, and I can't imagine a better first return to the car. Better one than this. This is
great.
This is something I've become really excited about lately. And
it should be that.
Good. We need more of you out there.
Yeah.
And
we need the car claim sale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that idea.
I love
when
that.
is that going to happen?
We need to talk. We need to figure out
We'll
location.
figure that out. Yeah.
Because someone needs to host, and then other people need to flip the
Yes,
comics
correct.
and
Right.
take down names.
You're the perfect host, but yeah.
I've done stuff like this before.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, this is a super fun thing for me. I really.
It's about fun.
It's about fun.
Yep.
Guys, thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
It's been great. And making a new friend, too. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm a connector.
Yeah.